Hey, welcome to the St. Louis Syndicate. I'm Nate. This is Brandon, and we're here to talk about our NFL steam this week. A lot of good things going on in the NFL last week. We'll take a look here in a minute at how we did in our picks. I'm just saying I did pretty good. Uh, it's funny, I do great giving you guys advice, and then I go make my own picks and lose, lose, lose. But Brandon, before we get into it, you're not in the Ben Harper anymore, Mr. Ben Harper, but you are doing pretty well, from what I understand, in the Super Contest. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Somehow I am staying within like 4.5 points back right now on the super contest while going 45 and 60 overall so far. So I am picking out the right guys to move over into those top five picks, luckily, keeping me within striking distance of some of these guys that are just plowing ahead with 4 and 5 win weeks.
Well, hey, it all it is stay close, and stay close, and try to make a strike in the last quarter of the season. So
That's the plan.
good job on that. Maybe you'll win a little bit. Here's our results from last week. That's looking very green over on my side. We're not going to talk too much about it, other than I was a little surprised at how well Detroit looked. I think they let Minnesota back in a little later than, and I didn't love that. And I hate the injury bug that snapped at Tampa. They're kind of a fun team, and right now
Yeah.
it's not going to be fun. So
No, I was sitting there watching that Tampa game going, you know, probably can't win, but hell, I might get the cover here in a second. And then Godwin's leg comes apart and man, you just hate to see that.
yeah, a lot of
Baker with
people.
some
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Baker with some targets. That guy can just he can throw the ball. It's so much fun to watch a guy who just believes in himself that much. Just go out there and just whip the ball around.
He's fun to watch. And I tell you,
Yeah.
I hate it for Godwin. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, he shouldn't have been in the game that late." I'm like, it was with 10 points.
Yeah.
All you are is one play away, and then you're at 8 and a field goal. So
Uh-huh.
I just uh, hey, you play your guys. You play them till the
Yeah.
end, unless it's 40-3, which we've seen
Yeah.
that too. So
You get down by that, 17, 21, something like that. You want to, cut everybody loose and move on to next week, like go for it. But you got a shot where it's like we could just score and then get another onside kick and we're right there. Like, you got to do it.
and how many times as a gambler does it make you nuts, one way or the other, when they have to make a decision, coaches have to make a decision in the last minute and a half, 2 minutes of a game, where they're like, oh, we should kick a field goal now. And then we'll have to do the onside kick because we got to do one of the two. And in reality, you either need the touchdown to cover or the field goal is going to blow your cover. It happens all the
Right.
time to me.
No, we're gonna name that the Antonio Pierce Memorial Reward here in a couple of weeks when he gets fired. That fucking loser, man.
Oh, this is not a kid friendly show, but that's okay. Because when we get upset, we can't handle this shit. All right, it's just how it is.
No. I had the Rams as my top pick and thought that one was coasting. I had moved on to doing other things since I was not in front of a TV during the afternoon games, and looked down and went, "Oh, hey, they're down by five. Isn't that fun?" And
Yeah.
not to mention that the Rams missed a field goal or an extra point that would have covered anyway. What a load of crap.
Accuracy of the field goals has dropped a little in the last 3 or 4 weeks. Is this because
It sure seems like it has.
I've seen the
We're not
accuracy going down? I don't have the
we're not
statistics.
having dudes just bomb 60 yarders every week anymore.
No.
It'll be interesting to see if that keeps moving towards some equilibrium and maybe I don't know. You'd hate to say that dudes that play the 10, 12 plays a game that like you wear down over a season, but I don't know exactly what else you could attribute this to.
So I'm gonna harken back to my high school days. Um, and we're going to call it regression to the mean. It happens in the NFL more than any other sport, where if you're bad, you're bad. And even if you have a couple of good weeks, you're going to regress back to what you normally are. And kickers are doing that, right? You can have some good weeks, and you can have some bad weeks, and it ends up being right in the middle at the end of the season. So, regression to the
I've built my entire career on that, and I'm just have spent 5 weeks getting kicked in the teeth, waiting for regression to the mean to show up.
Yeah, I keep thinking it's going to show up, but I'm almost ready to start going on the other end because we were looking at some against the spread statistics for some of these teams, and invariably I continue to play on these teams as I should as a nice, intelligent bettor who knows the game of football and has been doing it for several years, and for some reason it's not working this year. And it's going to come back, it's going to come back, it's going to come back.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No bridge
but at
jumping.
least we got another shot this week.
Yeah, let's take a look at this week. Buffalo and Seattle. Probably the best game on the slate. This is actually a pretty weak slate for interesting games. These are kind of good gambling games to talk about. So, what's your take on Buffalo Seattle?
I think Seattle screwed me on this Atlanta pick last week because Atlanta can't get a push in the center of the defense. I think Buffalo will remedy that and give them a whipping. That's what I think. You give me three, three gets me a push. Anything more than that gets me a win, and that's where I'm at with it.
I actually like Buffalo here, but I'm finding it very difficult to continue to be on the opposite side of Geno Smith and his magic. This is an old guy who has new tricks apparently, and he continues to just, if you don't push, like you said, up the middle, he just steps up to the corner. He just tears these defenses apart. And even though DK is potentially hurt and going to miss, they have a pretty deep receiver core, and they still have Lockett, they still have JSN, so they look pretty good. And I'm not a huge fan of the travel across the country. This time in Buffalo, they're going to have to fly up over Canada, get cold, come back, land in Seattle, get rained on. They're going to be cold, they're going to be wet. I just don't see that this plays into Buffalo's favor. That being said, there's a good chance Buffalo wins by 12.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things. I am looking at weather forecasts, and it does look like 54 degrees and a 98% chance of precipitation. So this could definitely play right into Josh Allen's hands here of just, hey, we get to take the shitty weather and move it straight from Buffalo to Seattle and take this passing attack that Seattle's been using on everybody and slow it down a little, especially if DK is banged up. That definitely makes it rough because that guy is a machine.
Yeah. So Buffalo will probably win this thing 27-22. Anyway, on to next. Baltimore Cleveland in a barn burner. We've got the third quarterback in Cleveland who's probably, we agree, the best quarterback in that quarterback room,
Yeah.
starting against the Baltimore Ravens this week. My personal opinion, the NFC North is always playing close games. Anything over 3.5 makes me just nervous to ever take and play a favorite in this division. I just can't do it. No matter how many times I see Derrick Henry stiff arming dudes into the stands and running down the sidelines, though he did get caught the other day from behind,
That
just
was pretty crazy.
a damn locomotive. So I'm hesitant to just be like, oh yeah, Baltimore. They are probably the best team in the league, if not right there 1A with the Chiefs. And we're not even going to talk about the magic that they pull out. But I just can't play any other way than a home dog with the +9. I'll take Cleveland.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a hard time, you know, new quarterback, bounce. Everybody loves Jameis. He's been from team to team to team. to a man, I've never seen anybody go like, he's not fun to have around. I think they play hard. If you just say, as we stand today, with what the two teams have done, we're about 9.5 points difference, and Cleveland gets to be at home with a new quarterback. I just got to stick with Cleveland and
Yeah,
go, you know, you got to hit every once in a while. And Baltimore, they've kind of made everybody forget about it for the last couple of weeks. So they have just been destroying people. Um, they have this fun propensity to let teams back into the games. So, I don't know if it's all, hey, AFC North, we play to the bell sort of thing, or it's some sort of issue with the way that they, set up their offense and defense. But
they do.
if I can get 9 points, I'll take the guys with the new quarterback.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Now, this last one on the schedule we're going to talk about, Chicago and Washington. We didn't necessarily disagree or have differing opinions, but we really kind of tore into this because we weren't really sure where we were at, right? We talked about what it looked like with Jaden Daniels. We talked about what it looked like with Mariota. What's it look like going into Washington for Chicago? What's the weather? Who are the refs? I mean, we kind of gutted this thing. We were in there comparing defenses in the pregame to recording this, and me personally, I don't see enough here to take anything away from the home dog. I went with the home dog in the other two picks. I'm going to go home dog here. I did not see enough of a drop off when Jaden Daniels went out to be fearful. That being said, Chicago's defense is better than Carolina's. So that's the big question. So that's where I'm sitting. Where did you end up?
Mine really comes down to the defensive play on Chicago's side. I think they figured something out. Um, I think that, you give Caleb another, a bye week to maybe ingest some more information. He's really quieted the the negative plays
Yeah.
the last couple of games and been more determined and, in the package that's being called. And I just think if you have something where either you're going to play your rookie quarterback and he's not 100%, or you send Mariota back out there who doesn't get to surprise the worst team in the league by orders of magnitude,
Yeah.
and you get to prepare for a week to go, here's what the tape looks like with Mariota, and I just go, look, if you're going to give me under the three, I don't see, Washington's defense being able to like shut down or take advantage of their rookie quarterback on the Chicago side.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I, I see every point you've made, which is why we harbored on this and banged on this around a little bit.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with everything you're saying. I just don't necessarily think that I like this young Bears team to come in and tell the Redskins and their fans and their home dog situation here. And honestly, I think if Daniels was slated to be the quarterback, Washington would be favored. And I don't think the drop off's that much. Um,
Sure.
Daniels is good. He's having a great season. He's a rookie. Mariota's serviceable. If the Bears win 31-30, I wouldn't be surprised. If the the Commanders win 27 to 18, I wouldn't be surprised. There's not a lot that's going to surprise me in this. I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I would definitely be on the money line with Washington if I was going to take Washington. Like, I don't
Agree.
need the 2.5 points. Like, let's load it up. Like, as a person that sometimes just picks a take and hammers it, I might even lay points with Washington
Yeah.
and go find me an alt line and go, if I really think that they're going to get close, they probably win by more than seven. When it comes down to it, like if they've got, the Bears defense figured out and they can just beat on what's supposed to be like a top six defense, well, then they're probably gonna beat them by 10 or 12 or, something like that.
Yeah.
So like it would definitely be of an interest to me to go out and look at what those lines look like, laying 6.5 or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that that is a big deal, and it just it changes everything. I was going to take a look at one thing before we get too crazy here about Chicago's defense. They have played in their last 2 weeks the Jaguars and the Panthers, and
Oh,
before
no,
that,
for sure.
they played the Rams.
So
Um,
far,
and
they have
before that,
had the 32nd
yeah.
hardest schedule.
So once again, I'm still kind of like they are a good defensive team, but I do not feel like this is Monsters of the Midway.
Though,
Um,
to be fair, the Commanders have had the 30th hardest schedule so far.
well, and see,
So,
here we are. Are we talking about two of the worst teams in the league that have just gotten lucky?
well, I think we're talking about two up and coming teams that have not had hard opponents so far. And I think they've allowed two rookie quarterbacks that are willing to play with some discipline get their feet under them.
Yeah,
And
and
then who knows?
they're
I
both
mean,
playing last place schedules from last year.
well, the messed up thing is that from here, from this game forward, Washington has the 26th hardest schedule, and Chicago has the hardest schedule.
The
So
hardest?
this is, yes. So this
Oh,
is Chicago's shot to put another win on the board before they get to go. They do get Arizona next week and then New England. And then they got Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit, San Francisco, Minnesota, Detroit. So they're gonna go on like a 2, 4, 6 week straight bender of
mm,
people probably drumming them around a little bit.
wow,
So,
that's
you
that's
know,
a terrible schedule. But I mean, they
they've
can't.
got 2 or 3 weeks to try to bite into these guys, get Caleb a little more consistent and on message, and then they're gonna go play some serious teams.
I love it. It's going to be fun to watch. We'll have to talk about this a little
Oh,
bit more in the coming weeks. So,
without a doubt.
well, hey, thanks, guys. I'm Nate. He's Brandon. You spent an extra few minutes with us this week, but hopefully it was informative and fun. Good luck with your picks.
Good luck, everybody.